The Georgia housing market and Atlanta population trends are shifting in ways that are reshaping the future of the Sun Belt migration story. For decades, Georgia, especially Metro Atlanta, has been a magnet for growth, offering warm weather, affordable homes, and a slower pace of life. Once considered the crown jewel of Georgia real estate, Atlanta symbolized opportunity and drew in thousands of new residents from across the country each year. But today, the tide is turning. For the first time in 3 decades, more people are moving out of Metro Atlanta than moving in, signaling a major demographic shift. This isn't the result of a housing crash or sudden economic collapse. It's a more complex reality. Rising home prices, shifting job markets, and lifestyle pressures are prompting many families to rethink their future in Georgia. Housing inventory is climbing, prices are cooling in once booming neighborhoods, and experts are forecasting continued softening through late 2025 and 2026. We've analyzed the most recent data to reveal the 10 Georgia cities facing the biggest population and real estate challenges. This guide helps you understand the why behind the numbers and navigate the new reality of the Peach State. Number 10. Cumming. Situated in Forsyth County, Cumming's housing market has long been one of the most desirable in the Atlanta metro area. Known for its top-rated schools, master-planned communities, and family-friendly lifestyle, Cumming became a magnet for families seeking suburban comfort with easy access to Atlanta's jobs and amenities. But today, the market is facing a shift. Recent data shows a net outflow of domestic migrants, as many residents are leaving for other parts of Georgia or relocating out of state. The driving forces are familiar: rapidly rising home prices that have far outpaced local wage growth, an increasing cost of living, and a noticeable shift in the area's suburban character as population density rises. The Cumming real estate market is now showing signs of a correction. Housing inventory is growing, buyer demand is slowing, and homes are spending more days on the market. The frenzied bidding wars that once defined Cumming's market have ended, forcing sellers to adopt more realistic pricing strategies and accept that their homes may sell for less than they expected. For buyers, this changing landscape may create opportunities to find value without the pressure of competing offers. For sellers, it's a challenging adjustment and a reminder that the Georgia housing market is moving toward a more balanced phase, heading into 2025 and 2026. Cumming remains a desirable location, but its real estate market is no longer the runaway success story it was just a few years ago. Number 9. Athens. Known for its historic downtown, thriving music and art scene, and strong connection to the University of Georgia, Athens's housing market has long been one of the most desirable in the state. During the housing boom, Athens experienced a surge of demand as buyers from across the country and even internationally competed for limited inventory, driving prices to record highs. But today, Athens is undergoing a major market correction. Home prices rose so quickly that they became disconnected from local incomes, creating affordability challenges for many residents. The influx of cash-rich buyers has slowed, and the once red-hot luxury segment is now seeing falling prices, rising inventory, and significantly less competition. For buyers, this presents a rare opportunity. Properties that seemed out of reach just a couple of years ago are now staying on the market longer, giving buyers more leverage to negotiate and secure a home at a more reasonable price point. For sellers, however, the shift has been humbling. Homes purchased at peak prices may no longer deliver the same return, requiring more realistic pricing strategies and longer timelines to sell. Despite the correction, Athens remains one of Georgia's most appealing cities, thanks to its university-driven economy, lively cultural scene, and enduring charm. The Athens real estate market is simply resetting to a more sustainable level, healthy for the long term but challenging for those caught at the top of the cycle. Number 8. Decatur. Located just east of Atlanta, Decatur's housing market has long been one of the most sought after in the Atlanta metro area. Known for its historic homes, lively downtown, walkable streets, and thriving arts and food scene, Decatur has been a magnet for professionals and families seeking a vibrant urban-suburban lifestyle. During the housing boom, its market soared as buyers, many with deep pockets from across the country and even internationally, competed for limited inventory, sending prices to record highs. But today, Decatur is undergoing a major market correction. Home prices rose so rapidly that they became disconnected from local income levels, and demand for high-end properties is now slowing significantly. The influx of cash-rich buyers has eased, leaving the luxury market in particular with growing inventory and fewer bidding wars. For buyers, this represents a rare opportunity. Homes that were once out of reach are now sitting on the market longer, giving buyers the ability to negotiate and purchase at prices that are closer to fair market value. For sellers, however, this shift is sobering. The days when a Decatur property was a guaranteed windfall are over, and realistic pricing is critical to avoid extended listing times. The Decatur real estate market is returning to a more balanced state, healthy for long-term stability but challenging for those who purchased at the peak. Number 7. Savannah, Georgia. The Savannah housing market perfectly illustrates the changing reality of today's Georgia real estate trends. Known for its historic charm, vibrant culture, and thriving tourism industry, Savannah has long been a top destination for new residents and real estate investors. For years, limited inventory, rising demand, and the surge in short-term rental properties drove home prices in Savannah to record highs, making it one of the hottest markets in the state. But that explosive growth is now cooling. Median home prices have started to decline year over year, and homes are staying on the market longer. Clear signs the frenzied bidding wars are over. Many buyers who purchased during the peak are now facing homes worth less than they paid, creating financial stress and uncertainty. Rising property taxes and higher living costs are compounding the issue, making it harder for homeowners to keep up with mortgage payments and maintenance costs. Investors who once saw Savannah as a guaranteed win are also feeling the pinch as rental competition grows and profits shrink. Savannah remains one of Georgia's most beautiful cities, but beneath its picturesque streets lies a housing market in transition. For many families, the dream of owning property here has turned into a struggle to stay afloat. As we move toward 2025 and 2026, Savannah's story is a cautionary tale for anyone watching the future of the Georgia housing market and the broader Sunbelt migration shift. Number 6. Columbus. Situated along the Chattahoochee River, Columbus's housing market has long been anchored by its deep military roots, thanks to the presence of Fort Moore, formerly Fort Benning. For decades, this military base provided a steady stream of jobs, population growth, and economic stability, insulating Columbus from the extreme booms and busts seen in other parts of the Georgia real estate market. But today, Columbus is facing a far different reality. While Fort Moore remains a key economic driver, the broader civilian economy has struggled to keep pace with rising housing costs. Home prices and property taxes have climbed faster than many residents' incomes, creating a growing affordability gap. The result? A steady rise in foreclosure filings, a clear signal of financial strain across the market. This isn't a dramatic housing crash, but a slow, painful correction. Many homeowners who once saw their properties as a safe investment are now struggling with mortgage payments, higher insurance costs, and the lingering effects of inflation. For some, their home has shifted from a symbol of security to a source of economic stress. Columbus remains a city rich in history and culture, with ongoing downtown revitalization efforts and a strong military presence. But its real estate market is recalibrating, moving toward a more sustainable, though for many more challenging, baseline. Buyers may find opportunity here, but for sellers, the path forward may require patience and more realistic pricing. Number 5. Griffin. Located south of Atlanta, Griffin's housing market reflects the challenges facing many small cities in the Georgia real estate market. Known for its antebellum homes, rich history, and small-town charm, Griffin once attracted buyers seeking a quieter, rural lifestyle while staying within commuting distance of Atlanta. During the housing boom, both local and out-of-state buyers poured into the market, driving home prices to unprecedented highs. But today, that surge has cooled, revealing a market that had become disconnected from its economic base. Home prices in Griffin rose faster than local incomes could support, leaving many residents with mortgage payments that no longer align with the local economy. As the influx of outside buyers slows, the market is adjusting to a lower, more sustainable level. Housing inventory is climbing while buyer demand is dropping, creating the classic setup for a market correction. Sellers who bought at peak prices are facing longer listing times and the reality that they may need to accept lower offers. The bidding wars of the past are gone, giving buyers more leverage to negotiate and more time to make decisions. Despite the cooling market, Griffin retains its core appeal: a tight-knit community, historic architecture, and a slower pace of life. For buyers, this transition may offer an opportunity to find value, but for sellers, it's a reminder of the cyclical nature of Georgia's housing market heading into 2025 and 2026. Number 4. Lawrenceville. Located in Gwinnett County, Lawrenceville's housing market has long been a centerpiece of suburban growth in the Atlanta metro area. Known for its master-planned communities, diverse population, and proximity to Atlanta jobs, Lawrenceville has been a top choice for families seeking affordability and convenience. But the market is shifting. In recent years, Lawrenceville has experienced a net outflow of residents, as many families leave for other parts of Georgia or even other states. The reason is a combination of rising home prices, higher living costs, and increasing population density that has changed the area's suburban feel. Home prices rose so quickly that they outpaced wage growth, making affordability a growing concern for many longtime residents. As a result, housing inventory is climbing while buyer demand is cooling, a classic sign of a market correction. Homes are staying on the market longer, and the bidding wars that once defined Lawrenceville real estate are now a thing of the past. Sellers who purchased during the peak may face lower than expected offers and must price homes more realistically to attract buyers. Despite these challenges, Lawrenceville still offers strong schools, a revitalized downtown, and a convenient location for commuters. For buyers, the shift presents an opportunity to negotiate better deals. But for sellers, it's a reminder that the Georgia housing market is entering a new, more balanced phase heading into 2025 and 2026. Number 3. Marietta. Located in Cobb County, Marietta has long been one of the most desirable suburbs in the Atlanta metro housing market. Known for its charming historic homes, vibrant downtown square, and strong community feel, Marietta offered families the perfect balance of suburban living, with quick access to Atlanta jobs and amenities. But today, the Marietta real estate market is facing significant headwinds. Cobb County now reports one of the highest foreclosure rates in Georgia, signaling financial stress for many homeowners. Home prices surged so rapidly over the past few years that they have outpaced local income growth, making affordability a major concern. This has contributed to a net outflow of residents, as some families move to more affordable areas within Georgia or leave the state entirely. Housing inventory is rising while demand is cooling, a classic sign of a market correction. The frenzied bidding wars that defined Marietta's market just a few years ago are gone, and homes are sitting on the market longer. Sellers who purchased during the peak are facing tough decisions as property values soften and realistic pricing strategies become essential. For buyers, this shift could signal opportunity, but for many homeowners, the dream of suburban stability has become financially challenging. Marietta's housing market is now a key indicator of broader Atlanta population trends and the evolving realities of the Georgia housing market heading into 2025 and 2026. Number 2. Lovejoy. Located in Clayton County, Lovejoy's housing market has long been known as one of the more affordable options in the Atlanta metro area. For years, Lovejoy attracted families seeking a quieter, suburban lifestyle while remaining within commuting distance of Atlanta's jobs and amenities. But today, Lovejoy is facing a turning point. The city has experienced a net outflow of residents, with many families relocating to other parts of Georgia or leaving the state entirely. Rapidly rising home prices have outpaced local income growth, creating affordability challenges for many long-term residents. At the same time, the area has seen significant demographic and economic shifts, with population density increasing and some families looking for a more rural, lower-cost lifestyle. The Lovejoy real estate market now shows clear signs of a correction. Housing inventory is climbing, demand is softening, and homes are staying on the market longer. The bidding wars that once defined this market are gone, and sellers are being forced to adopt more realistic pricing strategies. For those who purchased during the peak of the frenzy, this can be a difficult adjustment as property values may be lower than expected. Despite these challenges, Lovejoy still offers affordability compared to other Atlanta suburbs. For buyers, this may create opportunities to negotiate better deals. For sellers, however, it signals a slower, more competitive market as the Georgia housing market shifts toward balance heading into 2025 and 2026. Number 1. Atlanta. At the top of our list is Atlanta's housing market, which is not just cooling, it's undergoing a historic shift. For the first time in 3 decades, Metro Atlanta has posted a net loss of domestic migrants, with over 1,300 more people leaving than arriving between mid-2023 and mid-2024. This reversal marks a turning point for a city long seen as the growth engine of the Georgia real estate market and the broader Sun Belt. The housing data tells the story clearly. Median home prices are falling, inventory is surging, and the once frenzied bidding wars have disappeared. The market has shifted decisively from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Contributing factors include rapid overvaluation, a slowing tech and logistics sector, and an oversupply of new homes that has outpaced demand. For buyers, this is a rare moment of opportunity. You can take your time, explore multiple options, and even negotiate for a better price without fear of losing out. For sellers, however, this is a challenging adjustment. Homes purchased at the height of the market may no longer command the same value, and pricing realistically is crucial to avoid prolonged listings. Despite the slowdown, Atlanta retains its core strengths: a diverse economy, thriving cultural scene, and access to outdoor recreation. But the Atlanta real estate market is clearly entering a new chapter, one where buyers hold more leverage and sellers must adapt to a very different reality heading into 2025 and 2026. Our list of 10 Georgia cities highlights a housing market in transition, not collapse. The era of bidding wars and runaway prices is over, giving way to a more balanced and sustainable market as we move into 2026. For buyers, this is a moment of opportunity. With cooling prices and rising inventory, you now have time to find the right home, negotiate, and buy strategically, something nearly impossible during the peak frenzy. For sellers, this is a reality check. Overpricing and expecting multiple offers is no longer viable. Success now comes from realistic pricing, proper staging, and patience as homes spend more time on the market. Despite the slowdown, demand for Georgia real estate remains strong, and long-term property values are still supported. This is a moment for optimism, a chance for buyers and sellers alike to navigate a fairer, healthier housing market in the Peach State.